Many light rays, when they come in to this lifetime, find themselves in positions where they are easily able to maintain their position as an observer without much effort, meaning that they come in with families that sort of provide an environment where they are not closely integrated with the other beings for whatever reason. It can be a gentle but unobtrusive relationship within the family, or it can be downright abusive. Whatever, it will be best for their experience to be able to complete what they came here to do. But the gift of being the observer, of not being overly closely affiliated with other people or institutions and religions and everything, it's helpful to see things as they really are, because it's through your bonding process in society that you have the hardest time seeing what's true and what's not. Also, when you have a really close affiliation with these things, the rules make it that much harder to stay on your path and what you perceive to be divine truth. You have to break all of those programs. So this also makes it a little bit easier to discern. The hardest thing about new ideas is that it appears to be in conflict with everything or many things that you have grown up believing, things that your parents have taught you and that school has taught you and that your religion may have taught you are valuable and important and to be upheld against all else. And that is a really difficult thing to look at and to break. And indeed, many people are going to say, why should I even go there? Because it's so important to me. We've had this stability for thousands of years, perhaps, or certainly within my family for X amount of years. Why should I upend all of that? Well, if you're realizing that everything that you based your morals and values on was a lie, and you can see the structures crumbling that were the foundation for all of these belief systems, wonderful, valuable belief systems, but if they're built on a foundation of lies, then they are nothing. It was an illusion. I think the best thing ever is to have values and morals and and things that you stand on that are important and that bond humans together and families together. That is valuable. Beliefs that are authentic and true and humane and uniting all of us to bring us to a higher frequency, closer to the ultimate God frequency, Christ consciousness of unconditional love. That's beautiful. That is as it should be. But if a structure has been built regarding families or religion or any other belief system, your country or your this or that, and it's false, then you have nothing. I'm not suggesting that we throw everything away and have nothing. You have to have a direction or something or somewhere. Going into the nothingness, that's a whole other thing that we're not going to get into right now, because we're talking about navigating the human experience in the physical body, and losing or giving up, moving on toward a new truthful reality, a reality that is going to be free and honest and open for exploration without domination or lies or control. That is a reality worth checking out, finding out what it's all about, and laying down your new foundation and traditions and belief systems. And if you are grounded in a value system that you're really comfortable with, I don't see why you cannot bring them forward and create them in your new reality. You observe your new reality. Where am I? What's real? Where's the sky? Where's the ground? How am I moving forward? How are things working? How's my body working? All the new things like frequency medicine instead of, Western cut and paste medicine, things like that. How can it be integrated into my being? Your core values of what's important to you, your family, love, relationships, wanting to be closer to God, never changes. That does not have to change, you know? And even if some religious organizations do a little bit of a crash and a burn, it doesn't mean that every single aspect of that religion is to be thrown away, that it's not valuable. We've been trained that everything is black and white. That's why we defend ourselves so harshly. The world is not black and white polarity. You've been programmed to look at it that way. This is why we can no longer sit and discuss politics. Used to be, you could have this opinion, I'd have that opinion, we discuss it, we might learn something, we meet in the middle, shake hands, call it a day. And we've lost that because they have successfully polarized us to the point where there's hatred toward the opposite polarity. And, you know, everyone has to be right and wrong, right and wrong. It's like this or like that. That's not healthy. It's not realistic. It's removing the free will and sovereignty of other beings, which is never a good thing. If you believe in God, God gave us free will to be here. This is a free will place. So what right do you have to remove that from someone else? And I know that this will resonate with people who are Christians, who believe in Jesus with all their heart. Stop and think for a moment about everything that he represented, what he would say about any of it. Did he ever judge them? Did he ever throw a stone? Would he ever condone that? No. No. At most, he would turn his cheek and walk away. You know, at best, if he thought that it would make any difference at all, he would invite them in, wash their feet, offer them some food, find out what they're doing, tell them what he's doing and what he believes in. That's the Christian mission, isn't it? But how many of us are behaving in this way? And if you find yourself thinking, oh no, you know, I haven't done that. You're not alone. It's okay. Like I always say, don't beat yourself up. Just see with clarity what's going on. We're not expected to be perfect. We're just supposed to be the best that we can be. If you're on that path, some people choose to be the worst they can be and kill, maim, and they're on their path, and that's fine. But I'm not talking to them right now. I'm talking to all the people who are trying to be the best that they can be and be a good example for society, for their family, etc. So if there is a truth and you won't even look at it because your ego doesn't like the implications, well, that's not right, is it? That's not the ideal way of being. It's not about your ego. It's not about, if you've been lied to and everything and like all these things have happened, that's not your fault. You know, your ego doesn't have to say, oh no, I can't believe this, I failed, I don't want to be wrong. It's not your fault. Look, your ego is not you. Your ego is a personality construct that protects you while you're in the physical body. You know, it gives you a spine, some defenses, some structure because you are a spiritual being and you have to exist within the physical reality, and that's why it's created. It's not your enemy, it can be your friend. It only is your enemy when you allow it to take over, when you allow it to take control. You see examples of it all around you. Every time people make bad choices and they ignore their gut feeling, which is their higher being, their higher consciousness, that's the chakra system, your central nervous system, your gut feelings, your intuition of your third eye, all the things you've been steered away from. That's what Creator God gave you when he designed you and your body as a receptacle to come here and have your physical experience, where he gave you free will to use that to discern for yourself what's right and what's wrong and which way you want to go and make your decision. Plot your course accordingly. What's happened now, we find ourselves in these horrible situations, which I'd say the majority by far of the planet is extremely unhappy with. People want peace and love and safety. We don't see that, right? We don't have that because you have been hijacked. Your reality's been hijacked. You know, you think that you're living your life the right way when we're not living it in the way that would create the reality that we want, because we've been lied to about what reality is. That's the whole point of this. Now, the words, when people talk about it, such as myself or anyone in this like new age movement, as it's so often called, it sounds like, oh my God, my head's spinning. It's exhausting. I have enough to think about. I'm not going there. The words, yes, this is a new experience, and trying to describe it and make it relatable in a reality that we're already existing in, When it is a completely new place that we're going to, it sounds complicated. It sounds difficult. How many times have you wanted to learn something new, and like a computer skill or a sport or whatever, and you're like resistant? There's no way, I'm not going to be good at this. It's too complicated. I don't get it, blah, blah, blah. And then if you decide to throw yourself into it, or you're forced to throw yourself into it, you just do it. And it wasn't like a monster. Yeah, you had to apply yourself. You had to learn some new things. But yeah, there you are. You just built it up in your head. We are in full swing, as you can see, with all the new things and the changes and one thing after another coming. Try to just stay in the flow would be my advice. It's not easy for anyone. I don't care how experienced you are, or how much you've already learned, or how open-minded you are, or any of that. I don't think there's one light ray out there that can say this is an easy ride. They would be lying. But it's exciting, you know? When you learn a new skill or a new sport, no, it's not easy. You're out of shape. You're trying to get in shape. Any changes. Change is a challenge. It's not hard. Don't say it's hard. Don't say even it's a struggle. It's a challenge. It means it's something new. It's something that you will have to exert yourself. You can't go on autopilot. And really, you think you'd want to be on autopilot and your life would be perfect, and you sit with your feet up drinking a pina colada without a care in the world. I give you, depending on your personality, 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 months, 5 years before you lose your mind and you're going to be going out looking for challenges and troubles. That's human nature. That's what's so great about the human being. And so in the divine perfection of this physical reality, all of those challenges will arise for you, little nudges here and there to provoke you into a state of mild dissatisfaction, at least, so that you will get out there and invent and improve and create and be the wonderful divine being that you were meant to be, using your free will and navigating around and creating an awesome life.